Congratulations for making it to civil service interview.
Thank you very much.
Would you introduce us about yourself and your educational background?
Hello, I'm Dr. Aditya Singh. I'm an orthopedic surgeon, and this is my second attempt and first interview.
How was the interview?
Interview was good. I was able to answer the questions confidently and with a smile.
What sort of questions were being asked by the board?
Most of the questions were related to my DAF, the keywords those were there in my DAF, and current related, like the current issues that are going on in the international realm. So those were the main topics that they were asking questions from.
What was your optional subject for this exam?
Medical science.
So you're a doctor.
Yes.
So, what's your specialization in medical sciences?
I'm a orthopedic surgeon.
Okay.
I've done my post-graduation in orthopedic surgery.
So from being an orthopedician, from being a medical doctor, to coming to the civil services, how has been the journey so far?
It has been quite pleasing, as I feel myself that I have read from both the sides, from the medical side as well and from the humanities side as well, and I feel that this journey was fulfilling for me, and I am much better person right now than I was before.
Did the board ask any questions about international relations and foreign policy?
They ask uh, regarding free trade agreements, and that much only. Like, they were asking from various other topics as well, but for that were related to FTA as well.
When they were asking you questions about your DAP, what were some of the core areas they were focusing in the DAP?
There one concern was, why was I coming from being an orthopedic surgeon to the civil services, and they are quite impressed with my answer that I gave, the experience that I had. So they were quite happy, and they asked like, what are you bringing to the table as an administrator? So these were the questions.
So now let's delve into your mode of preparation. What was your mode of preparation? Did you go for coaching, self-study, or mentorship?
I did take a coaching because I had no one to guide me. So coaching I use for getting guidance that I am in the right direction, and it helped me. It pivoted me that this is my area of focus which I have to study. These are the tests that I have to give. So in a way, yes, they were very beneficial. They were very helpful in guiding me through my preparation.
What was your approach for the prelims, and how did you tackle CSAT, given the unpredictable nature of CSAT?
I was focused more on solving UPSC PYQs, and I consolidated my notes that this much is what I'm going to study, and I studied them for like 4 to 5 times, 6 times, and that helped me a lot.
Minimize the risk of
Yes.
not making it to the prelims. Okay. What was your approach for the mains? Given the fact that it's a 5 days back-to-back exam, it brings a lot of pressure with it. How did you manage the 5 days of intense and extensive exam?
Yes, that was very hectic. And while I was revising, I was trying to make my notes concise so that I can revise at the time of one day before the exam day, before mains. And I have a habit of making last moment revision notes with the topic. I write those topics, and those are the topics which I usually revise on the last date. Or I have a booklet of data. I had a booklet of data where I wrote down important data, and I revised them, and I went for the mains exam.
Does those notes actually help you in the last moment? And if does, how does it help?
It actually helps because those were the points which I used to forget, or those were the most important points which, if I write, will fetch me 1 mark extra. So that is why it was very important that I get them. They are in my memory one day before the exam.
Okay. Since you're a doctor, and this exam brings with a lot of pressure and the stress, so what's your take on mental health and UPSC preparation?
Yes, UPSC is a very long journey, and trust me, I have given 2 national level exams and I cleared both, but this is way apart from those exams because it is very grueling. It will test your patience, perseverance, discipline, everything. So, and mental health is one of the aspects. Since I am a doctor already, so it helped me that yes, even if I fail, I have something to fall back on. So that is why I always suggest whoever asks me that have a second option that you can fall back on, because success rate is less than 1%. So you need to have and that will actually help in your mental stress, depression, and also make you financially stable. And in a way, if you are happy, you will prepare very well. So those were my concerns regarding mental health.
What are your hobbies?
As such, I exercising is one of my hobby,
And how does
and
it help you?
first it keeps me physically fit. So if I have to study for long hours, which in UPSC you have to, so it prevents any backache, that I don't get any backache. Second, a healthy mind resides in a healthy body, so it keeps me fresh. And so these are the benefits that, and I exercise daily.
So what you mean to say is that hobbies have an important role to play in the civil service preparation as well.
Yes, whatever your hobby is, if matlab, in my opinion, it should be productive. That in a way it helps in your preparation. Like even if you're watching a movie, so get some examples out of those movies that you can quote in your interview. Or since, and in my interview as well, or in my mains as well, I learned from my experiences that I had in my medical field or while I was treating patients, and I used to write those as anecdotes, because those were real life experiences and I did not have to mug it up. They were just there.
Since you're a doctor, you have a plan. Like if civil services happens, well and good. If it doesn't happen, you have a thing to fall back upon. But what do you think that there should be a plan B for the aspirants? Because it takes too much of time, resources, energy, and a lot more expectation from the family.
Look, expectations will always be there. From kids, parents have, everybody has expectations. Even right now, I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I have a good career, but even then, my family has expectations from me that I do well in civil services. So they will be there, but if you have a plan B, which I think everyone should, because the fact of the matter is you have less than 1% success rate, and you have to keep that in mind that 99 people now out of 100 will fail. So you should have something that you can fall back on. And what I learned, that you need only 16 months to prepare for this exam if you do it diligently. 16 months is more than enough, and after that you only need to revise it, which you can do with a job as well. If you have a 9 to 5 job and you can revise daily for, let's say, 2 hours, it is sufficient. But you have to do it daily, and that requires discipline.
So you're talking about the discipline. Why does the motivation come for this exam?
I don't, if like my motto is that if you need motivation to do anything, then don't do it. It should come from inside. You should not get motivated just by you have to listen a song or a movie or magic. No, it should be inside you that yes, I have to do it, and you should be self-motivated yourself. Like I was, for that matter, that yes, I had to. I saw so many things during COVID, and that motivated me. Ki, yes, be the change you want to see in the world. So that was my motivation. That is why I left such a. Look, I came back here after having such a good career in orthopedic surgery.
So like you've been at the forefront of the COVID-19 during that time. So you would have experienced the things from the close quarter. Now that would have definitely motivated you.
Yes.
Now what experiences do you bring from the medical field into the civil services?
Like in medical field, we deal lots of patients. Like our medical hospitals, if you see, they are overburdened. So we are naturally inclined to work very calmly under high stake situations, and it helps us to improve our communication skills as well. You have to manage people to get your work done, as you know how things are in the government hospital. So in a way, it brings out in you a coordination that yes, you are not the one, there are other people without whom you are nothing. So it humbles you down. So those things brings you in the civil services, because in civil services also you are a team, you work as a team. So I think that would be very helpful, and the situations can go wrong very easily. So you need to be a sponge you need to become a sponge to absorb all that pressure that comes with the job.
What do you mean to say? Being a doctor, you can treat a pathological disease, but being a civil servant, you bring a lot of policy prescriptions, social intervention that helps in the society to get remedy in the longer, in much wider spectrum.
Yes, because since I come from a government college, so I have seen people at the bottom of the pyramid who are very poor, who and I know the pain that go through, and in a way I try to help. But as a doctor, my scope was very limited.
Ambit is a little restricted.
Yes, I could not become more compassionate or help in the other ways. But civil servant services or policy making, once you have experienced that ground level, it will help you in formulating good policies.
What are some of the key challenges that the civil service aspirants face during this entire preparation?
Uh, One is they run about, like, instead of becoming, they want to become a district collector, but instead of they become a copy collector. Like, they run about collecting every notes, everything. But I would say just look at the syllabus and make one note. That is enough. And it should be like you should be able to solve at least 60 to 70 questions. Not, you don't have to solve 100% to get selected to clear prelims for that matter. So just consolidate your notes and bring discipline inside you. If you have discipline, then you don't need motivation. You will do that thing daily, and it will show results in 1 month only.
So what you mean to say is that this you followed an integrationist approach to follow this exam, and then when you are talking about the motivation, discipline is the key to motivation. If you are disciplined, your pattern will actually guide you through this.
Yes.
What's your advice for the current aspirants and the future aspirants who are preparing for this exam, given the unpredictability and a lot of issues that it brings with it?
First, I would say consolidate your notes, that these are the things that I'm going to study. Write it down at one place so that whenever you get distracted, just come back to it and keep, okay, this is the things. I don't have to think more about it. Second, discipline. That if you have to study 5 days a week, 5 hours a day, you have to do it whatever the cost may be. Third, I would say you have to persevere and know the reality that success rate is only 1%. So be ready to deal with it, because since it's a 3-part exam, and if any part gets wrong, you have to start from zero. So be mentally prepared for that.